Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha. Oh, so I just got through doing the Radiohead first time listen. Ran out, checked the surf, actually dropped under a place where I feel comfortable surfing. I got under 10 feet, totally fun. Had a blast, caught a bunch of waves. I'm all pumped, so pumped. I'm gonna do another one right now. So I have been going and recycling through bands, and I've decided on this one I'm gonna try something completely new. I recognize the title of the song, which is a classic, The Sound of Silence. But I'm not familiar with the band Disturbed, who's performing this. So I think this might be the very first cover song I've first time listen reacted to. So I don't know what to expect. Obviously, I'll recognize the melody, but I think what's really, really super sensitive about cover songs is how the band or the artist, their version of it with arrangements and composition. So I definitely look forward to Disturbed. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for the subs, the comments. Thank you for your patience. I know everyone's dropping all kinds of stuff on me, and I'm doing the best I can to cycle through it. I've only been doing this 3 months, so you know, I got a lot of time to catch up on that. And finally, I want to thank you guys for your support, knowing that my channel is not monetized. Even though you see all these ads, they're not mine. They're copyright claims by the publishers and the owners of the songs, and you know, that's how they're making money right now. And rightfully should. I know it kind of suckishes, but you know, and but in lieu of that, people have been, you know, buying me a cup of coffee, and thank you so much for that. That kind of support and stuff, and all the notes that people send behind it is really moving, and I'm very humbled with what I'm doing. So that link is down below. The link for their music, their Spotify will be down below. So Disturbed, The Sound of Silence. All right.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
All right, that was probably a sacrilege place to stop because I was just so into the flow of this. Absolutely beautiful. But I mean, if you've never seen me do what I do, I got to stop because I got to give you guys my thoughts in this very light kind of nuanced way of bringing these beautiful things that I hear to the surface. When you're doing a cover, like I said earlier, you know, it's a very sensitive thing when you put your own touch to something. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work. In this case, there's, first of all, the singer, I'm sorry, I don't know what his name is. What a beautiful timbre and tone to his voice. I'm sure I'm in for a surprise. It sounds like the second half of his building that is probably going to progress a little more. The lonely piano that started the song along with the melody. Well, the melody was spot on to the melody, you know, as it was written way back in the day. That lonely piano, and it seems like it's at a little slower tempo than the original, really kind of draws you in a very somber way. Of course, in composition, writing, arranging, and composing, and when you are doing a cover, you are conveying a performance that the original one has already painted theater of the mind in this artist. So we all take songs and we all shape it in different ways that we hear it. We all let it fit our soundtrack of life in particular ways because of where we are in our lives when we hear the song and how a song moves us. However they approach the arrangements, the first section of it, that first verse, was very mellow, very somber, very beautiful. I loved how the piano had a nice reverb on it. It didn't have a pre-delay on the reverb, so the reverb really kicked in right the second the note was in there, and it wasn't like a long haul. It was just perfect reverb there. But the voice was very dry, and you had to be very personal, as if he's whispering in your ear, and that is some sick voice control there, and it sounded beautiful. Now the second verse, I started. Did you see me do this? This is my what? Universal sign for chicken skin. Goosebumps. Now we have this guitar that came in, a beautiful acoustic guitar, and there were strings behind it. It was cellos, I believe, I never say I know, and there seemed to have been a counterpoint cello melodic arrangement going on, not just holding long notes and just following the obvious with the chords. Oops, sorry, that's just like violin, viola, cello, my bad. But there was some movement with the arrangement of that went around the melody. Then the singer stepped up a notch of his performance, once again, because I don't know who he is, I don't know where I'm headed for, I'm sure I'm in for a big surprise. I just have a gut feeling about this. And then with the acoustic guitar coming in, bringing more arrangements and layers into that is now stepping you into something that's now going to lift you, obviously, into another place. Some of the stuff I'm saying to musicians and composers or arrangers are pretty obvious. For those of you who just listen to music to enjoy it, this is part of the beauty of when you sit down and arrange and compose and a producer sits with you. And sometimes it's the band as the producer and all the arrangements and stuff, but going through this process of choosing the right way to work on a cover is it could be more daunting than actually writing a fresh piece, because you always have haunting behind you, God, I want to do this song justice, because it means so much to Disturbed that they wanted to cover it. So anyhow, yappity yap yap yap, I went on, and I didn't even drink a lot of coffee. All right, I'm going to go back a little ways, and let's pick it up.
And touch the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words on the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
That was a beautiful expose, and if you really think about that song, that phrase, you know, the verse into the sound of silence, it repeated itself 4 times, 5 times. I don't know the song that well, I can't remember. I was kind of caught up in the emotions of the arrangements and stuff. And where the expose in just masterful decision-making in production, composition, and arrangement is that as each section came across, it became more and more and more powerful. Now, at a certain point, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get a surprise. Am I going to get some powerful guitars? Am I going to get metaled out somewhere? And where the real power and where the real soulful performance was obviously with the singer. Jeez, what a voice. I'm not a vocal coach and stuff. I'm just kind of gushing a little bit because he went from this, at the very beginning, this kind of somber, like I use that word already, the somber tone of his voice, and very personal. It was just right in your ear, right in your face. And then his voice got bigger and bigger throughout the song, and then finally more powerful. And that grit sound of his voice, I'm sure now that this is my first Disturbed, and most likely is never going to be the last one. And I know I'm going to get a lot of suggestions because sometimes, you know, maybe the first song I do may not be the one that everybody likes or something, but that's why I count on you to give me the suggestions. The string arrangements as they grow. Here's something else that I really enjoyed. There was enough confidence in the decision in the engineering that the power of the vocalists was so clear and precise and a force unto itself. They really shoved up the string arrangements quite a bit to surround him with this, you know, this organic instrument sounding, you know, arrangement, strings, and surrounded him with it enough and to get it up there equal with him. A lot of times I fight to hear string arrangements. Well, that's because I'm a string arranger too, and a lot of times I do string arrangements. I want to hear my own arrangements. A lot of times in a mix I'll get sunk. Anyhow, thanks for hanging out. Thank you so much for turning me on to Disturbed. You know who you are. And so much more to come. I look forward to your comments. Thank you for your support, for everything. Geez, look at how close I'm getting to 100,000 within 3 months. This is just nuts. Thank you for the cup of coffee. Check out the music with the links below. And as I always say at the end of all my videos, all right, aloha.